Number 10. Candace Owens. In 2020, when Harry Styles made history as the first male to have a solo cover of Vogue, what really surprised people was that he wore a dress. The conservative commentator did not approve of his clothing choice, and so she tweeted, "There is no society that can survive without strong men. The East knows this, in the West, the steady feminization of our men at the same time that Marxism is being taught to our children is not a coincidence. It is an outright attack. Bring back manly men." In response to this, Olivia Wilde called Candace pathetic for basically attacking Harry's gender expression and conflating wearing a dress with being feminine. Then in response to that tweet, Candace hit back at Olivia, tweeting, "You're single for a reason," referencing her split from longtime partner Jason Sudeikis, which was announced just days earlier. The Twitter feud recently resurfaced online and has since gone viral after the actress was spotted holding hands with Harry at one of his friends' weddings a few weeks ago. But many fans pointed to the tweets as evidence that Olivia has always been defending and standing up for Harry. Number 9. Shia LaBeouf. The actor was initially cast as Jack in Olivia Wilde's upcoming film Don't Worry Darling, which debuts in theaters this fall. However, news broke in September of 2020 that she had replaced him with Harry Styles. But the story that Olivia began circulating was a little different. She alleged that she fired Shia due to a no a-hole policy that she had while directing. She told Variety, "Shia's process was not conducive to the ethos that I demand in my productions. He has a process that, in some ways, seems to require a combative energy, and I don't personally believe that is conducive to the best performances. Ultimately, my responsibility is to production and to the cast to protect them." But Shia was not happy with this side of the story and decided to publicly expose Olivia. He emailed both the director and Variety and denied that he was fired, instead saying, "You and I both know the reasons for my exit. I quit your film because of your actors, and I couldn't find time to rehearse." And in the most explosive revenge move ever, Shia then leaked a video of Olivia practically begging him to stay in the film and making it seem like Florence Pugh was the problem and she was the one who didn't want him there. The video went viral and the result was utter chaos. Number 8. Imani Barbarin. The author, influencer, and activist reacted to the hypocrisy surrounding the viral video that was leaked of Olivia Wilde addressing the feud between Shia LaBeouf and Florence Pugh. She tweeted, "This whole Olivia Wilde thing reminds me of the Whitney Cummings thing. Reminds me of so many recent incidents in Hollywood where white women have revealed that they acquire power in the industry not because they challenge norms but tout female empowerment while changing nothing." In the clip, the 38-year-old is seen driving a car and speaking to the camera at the same time. She tells Shia that she is not ready to give up on the possibility of him working on the film, despite the fact that she later claimed to have fired him. But in reality, the video exposed that she was the one pleading with him to stay on the project. Shia was pretty much out to expose her and wrote an email to Variety explaining how everything went down. Quote, "Firing me never took place, Olivia. And while I fully understand the attractiveness of pushing that story because of the current social landscape, the social currency that brings, it is not the truth. So I am humbly asking, as a person with an eye toward making things right, that you correct the narrative as best as you can." Number 7. Tao Ruspoli. Olivia met her first husband, filmmaker and Italian prince Tao Ruspoli, through a friend of her family's in late 2002. The actress wasn't initially eager to meet him, but she warmed to the idea and she was charmed by his personality, charisma, and political activism. Just 6 months later, they eloped and seemed to be truly happy, and would eventually go on to pursue several film projects together. But in March of 2011, 8 years after eloping, Olivia filed for divorce from Tao. He did seem to be a lot more heartbroken out of the two of them, and even made a documentary called Monogamish, which was inspired by his heartbreak over the divorce. In the film, he revealed, "My wife just left me after nearly 10 years together, and my whole world has crumbled." But for her part, it seemed like Olivia almost wanted to embarrass her ex. In 2020, at an event hosted by Glamour Mag, she discussed trying to fake happiness with her ex-husband towards the end of her marriage. In fact, she aired out all their dirty laundry and talked about how bad their sex life was. Quote, "I felt like my vagina died. Turned off, lights out. You can lie to your relatives at Christmas dinner and tell them everything on the home front is just peachy, but you cannot lie to your Even if she was joking, that would have been a little painful for anyone to hear. Number 6. Gianmarco Soresi. As Olivia Wilde was presenting at CinemaCon and talking about her new movie Don't Worry Darling, a woman from the audience approached her and handed her a yellow envelope, which read "Personal and Confidential." The whole thing was caught on camera. As the actress opened the envelope, she found that it was custody papers from her former partner Jason Sudeikis. After a brief moment of shock, she decided to continue on with her presentation, but later addressed the bizarre moment in an interview with Variety. Quote, "In any other workplace, it would be seen as an attack. It was really upsetting. It shouldn't have been able to happen. There was a huge breach in security, which is really scary. The incident put Jason in a really bad light, but surprisingly, some people thought it was staged." Gianmarco Cerezi, a New York actor and stand-up comedian, seemed to believe that the whole thing was a PR stunt. He tweeted, "We're a couple of days away from finding out that Olivia Wilde served herself custody papers." Not only did his tweet blow up, but a lot of people were apparently thinking the same thing. As another user wrote, "On the very same day, Olivia just announced the release of the trailer of her new movie, and days later, Jason started a new project. As if they wanted all the attention on them. Open your eyes." Wow. Number 5. Florence Pugh. As we know, the Hollywood it girl appears in Olivia Wilde's upcoming film alongside Harry Styles. However, there was reportedly much tension on the set between the two women. Florence allegedly wasn't too happy seeing her director hook up with Harry, considering the fact that at the time she was still married to Jason Sudeikis. But the main reason for the feud between the two actresses is because Florence reportedly did not feel safe or comfortable playing Shia's love interest in the movie, as the actor has been recently plagued with disturbing allegations like accusations of domestic violence. And while Olivia made it seem like she was understanding and going to accommodate her request, the video Shia leaked of her tells a different story entirely. In the video, Olivia sounded heartbroken that he was leaving the project and instead makes it seem like Florence was the problem after all. She said, "The fact that you're leaving might be a little bit of a wake-up call to Miss Flo. If she really commits, if she really puts her mind and heart into this at this point, and if you guys can make peace, and I respect your point of view, I respect hers, but if you guys can do it, what do you think?" So it's easy to see why Florence would be upset at that. Number 4. Vanessa Hudgens. When the High School Musical star made some pretty controversial comments complaining about having to quarantine and restrictions, Olivia Wilde was quick to shut her down. During the Instagram live, Vanessa Hudgens said, "Yeah, till July sounds like a bunch of BS. I'm sorry. It's a virus. I get it. I respect it. But at the same time, like, even if everybody gets it, people are gonna die, which is terrible, but like inevitable." Her tone-deaf comments earned her a whole bunch of backlash on social media, especially from Olivia, who slammed her in a tweet of her own, writing, "In 1,000 years, they'll dig up our society and find this precious digital moment and be like, oh okay, so this is why they mysteriously disappeared from the earth." She also left emojis of a head shaking in disappointment. All the criticism ultimately led the actress to return to her Instagram to clear up the misunderstandings. Vanessa wrote, "Hey guys, so yesterday I did an Instagram live and I realized that some of my comments are being taken out of context," and she proceeded to apologize for coming off as insensitive. It's unclear whether or not the two have made up since 2020, but it's likely Vanessa is still feeling the sting from being burned online. Number 3. Mark Joseph Stern. When the 2009 movie Richard Jewell came out, it was steeped in controversy, mostly because of Olivia Wilde's portrayal of real-life journalist Kathy Scruggs. The real Kathy, who died in 2001, was working at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution when she broke a story that the FBI was investigating a security guard named Richard Jewell for the in Centennial Olympic Park during the 1996 Olympics. But the issue with the movie was that it depicted the iconic female journalist as having traded sex for information, which was particularly offensive considering the fact that there was no evidence Kathy Scruggs ever did that, and even many of her past colleagues came forward condemning the movie. Slate senior writer was among the loudest voices in protest of the film and slammed Olivia for her role. Quote, "Please do not pay to see movies that feature fictional female journalists who sleep with sources for a story. It's egregiously sexist, demeaning, and an insulting trope at this stage, and I don't see an appropriate response other than a flat-out boycott. It's 2019. Smart, thoughtful people have condemned this offensive trope loudly and consistently for years. They have persuasively explained why it is abhorrent. And he wasn't the only one taking offense." Number 2. Jessica Biel. There was once a claim out there that Jessica Biel did not want Justin Timberlake to be anywhere near his ex-girlfriend Olivia Wilde and allegedly sees her as a threat. It's completely understandable that Jessica wouldn't be jumping at the opportunity for Justin to work with Olivia again, given that in 2011 they were seen partying together at a Hollywood club called the Roxbury, and allegedly got pretty handsy before leaving together at 3 a.m. The actors, who were co-stars at the time in the movie Now, reportedly cuddled in a VIP section before moving out onto the patio. Eyewitnesses said that the two of them were even seen kissing. Even though Olivia responded to the rumors by tweeting, "Cool it, honey badgers, we are just friends and have been for years." But not only that, Jessica's marriage to Justin was also tested in 2019 when he was spotted with his co-star Alicia holding hands during a night out in New Orleans. The photos caused a huge scandal, and Justin had to make a public statement the following month, apologizing for his strong lapse in judgment, and claimed that despite the photos, nothing happened between him and his co-star. So Justin certainly has a rocky history when it comes to infidelity. And coming in at number 1, Jason Sudeikis. After a 7-year engagement, the pair announced that they had separated in November of 2020. Like most celebrity couples that live in the public eye, their divorce is very messy, and so was their big public breakup and bitter custody battle over their 2 young children. But it seems like these two are still at each other's throats, which may or may not be due to the fact that Olivia allegedly cheated on Jason with Harry Styles, which was one of the main reasons for their split. In fact, it was heavily implied that the two of them had been having an affair for around a month before the breakup. And what made it even worse was that Jason reportedly didn't realize it was happening and even brought their children to visit the set. The actress and director was faced with a bitter surprise when she was served custody papers halfway through her talk. She later told Variety, "I hated that this nastiness distracted from the work of so many different people, and the studio that I was up there representing try and sabotage that was really vicious." But you know, sadly, it was not something that was entirely surprising to me. I mean, there's a reason that I left that relationship. Ouch. Number 9, Harry Styles' relationship. If there's one thing that the internet loves to do right now, it's tear down the romance between Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles. The couple met on the set of the movie Don't Worry Darling, which Olivia directed. He joined the cast in the fall of 2020, and by January 2021, the duo was spotted holding hands at a wedding, which naturally caused everyone to lose their mind. There has also been a lot of valid criticism directed at the couple, with some people questioning the timeline of their relationship, and they felt that Olivia moved on just too quickly after breaking up with her ex Jason Sudeikis. Former couple called off their 7-year engagement in November last year, and they share 2 kids together. But most of the hate is due to the fact that she's 10 years older than Harry, which gets brought up a lot when we see that an older woman is dating a younger man, but often it's not the other way around. They are also mad that she is in a position of power over him, as she directed the movie that he was starring in. So in a way, their whole relationship is a huge red flag. Number 8, Queerphobia. Olivia Wilde has faced huge backlash after alleged homophobic comments she made in previous interviews resurfaced online. 38-year-old actress has been slammed by the LGBTQ+ community for comparing changing roles in her career to that of someone who was making a life-changing decision about sexuality. In the interview, she was talking about what it was like going from being an actress to being a director, and she said it felt like coming out of the closet. She angered that same community again on another occasion, when she said that before she met Jason Sudeikis in 2011, she considered having a soft kind of lesbian relationship. Although it's totally fine to question your sexuality, people were mainly upset that Olivia claimed to have considered becoming gay just because she was lonely, which feeds into the stereotype that women only get into queer relationships because they don't seem to have any men in their life. Number 7, Shia LaBeouf comments. The actor was initially cast as Jack in Don't Worry Darling. However, pretty soon news broke in September of 2020 that Olivia had replaced him with Harry Styles. But the story that she began circulating was a little strange. She alleged that she fired Shia due to a no a-hole policy that she had while directing. She told Variety, "Shia's process was not conducive to the ethos that I demand in my productions. He has a process that in some ways seems to require a combative energy, and I don't personally believe that it is conducive to the best performances. Ultimately, my responsibility is to the production and to the cast to protect them." Just by her choice of words, Olivia made it sound as though he was a danger to the cast and crew, and that she had to fire him in order to protect everyone on set. This would have been easy for her to say, considering that Shia is being plagued by accusations of domestic violence at the moment, but in this instance, it was a blatant lie. Number 6, Kiki Layne. When it comes to the widely publicized drama surrounding Don't Worry Darling, there is new information being spilled every day. Kiki Layne and Ariel Stachel are now speaking out about how they were cut from most of the movie. They played the characters Margaret Margaret and Ted Watkins. Margaret serves as Alice's close friend and helps the protagonist in solving the mystery behind the Victory Project. The actress recently posted a video and 2 sweet images of the on-screen couple from the movie set on Instagram, but it was her caption that got everyone talking. She wrote, "The best thing about Don't Worry Darling is that I am lucky enough to meet Ariel Stachel. They cut us from most of the movie, but we're thriving in real life." When her Instagram post blew up, the outrage also grew. And one user commented, "Olivia Wilde cut a majority of the only POC characters out of her movie, marketed as a movie showcasing female pleasure when it was only about women being literally entrapped without their consent. And you still want to defend her?" Number 5, leaked video. In response to Olivia's comments, Shia publicly exposed the truth behind his leaving of the project. And in the biggest revenge move ever, he emailed both Olivia and Variety magazine, saying, "You and I both know the reasons for my exit. I quit your film because your actors and I couldn't find the time to rehearse. Firing me never took place, Olivia. And while I fully understand the attractiveness of pushing that story because of the current social landscape, the social currency that brings, it is not the truth. So I am humbly asking, as the person with an eye toward making things right, that you correct the narrative as best as you can." Shia then leaked a video of Olivia practically begging him to stay in the film and making it seem like Florence Pugh was the only one who didn't want him there. In the clip, she tells Shia that she is not ready to give up on the possibility of him working in the film, saying, "The fact that you're leaving might be a bit of a wake-up call to Miss Flo." That video went viral and the result was utter chaos. Number 4, underpaying Florence. Early into the production of the movie, there were reports that Harry earned triple his co-star's salary, despite Florence being the film's leading lady. In early August, Showbiz Galore reported that she only took home $700,000 for her role as Alice, which sounds like a lot, but Harry was reported to be paid $3 million to play the supporting role of Jack, her husband, which if true would also be even more than the other notable co-stars in the film, like Chris Pine, who reportedly only made $600,000. But Olivia refuted the allegations and told Variety there is absolutely no validity to those claims. There has been a lot out there and I largely don't pay attention to it. She went on to call the pay disparity non-existent and said, "I'm a woman who has been in this business for over 20 years, and it's something that I have fought for myself and others, especially being a director. It's no secret that it's been an ongoing battle for men and women to have the same pay for film projects that they do together. So it's understandable that fans were fuming at the possibility that Florence was actually underpaid." Number 3, rude jokes. In March of 2011, after 8 years of marriage, Olivia filed for divorce from her first husband, Italian Prince Taurus Poli. While he was heartbroken after the split, it seemed like the actress was more focused on publicly humiliating her ex. In 2020, at an event hosted by Glamour magazine, she discussed trying to fake happiness with her ex-husband towards the end of her marriage. In fact, she aired out all their dirty laundry and even talked about how bad their sex life was. Quote, "I felt like my died, turned off, lights out. You can lie to your relatives at Christmas dinner and tell them everything on the home front is just peachy, but you cannot lie to your..." It really sounded like that was her attempt at a sex joke, but it wasn't great considering that it sounded like she just wanted to get up on stage and say that Tao was bad in bed. Even if she was joking, many people would agree that the whole thing was done in bad taste. And coming in at number 1, the premiere. While Florence Pugh did not end up walking the red carpet, the internet could literally not get over how distant she was from Olivia the whole time. The 26-year-old was obviously giving her the cold shoulder, which comes as no surprise following all the rumors of tension between the two actresses. Not only that, but the weird vibes continued into the screening, where Florence and Olivia had to be seated 3 people apart. According to multiple eyewitnesses inside the screening, the actresses maintained their cold demeanors towards each other, and Florence even turned away from her when she started crying during the standing ovation. While yes, she did walk the festival's red carpet with the rest of the cast, she only posed for group shots, and the 2 women were not photographed together alone at all. And Florence didn't even pose for pictures with Harry either. So as much as Olivia loves to deny it, it's clear that there is still some deep resentment between them, and it would be very unlikely that they ever work together again in the future.